My name is Adrian Nantchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. Now, what to do when you don't know anyone else? Any other entrepreneurs, that is, and no one else in your family is an entrepreneur as well. What do you do? Simple. Understand who you are, what you want to do, and what difference you want to make in the world, and stick to it, and champion it, and do something, and build a business that, or do something with that vision in mind. Because when you have a strong purpose and a strong desire, the family will slowly realise that they can't dissuade you from doing what you want to do. They'll slowly realise that your persistence, your strength, your ambition is too strong and they can't tear you down. And especially they can't tear you down when they've gone way beyond their comfort zone, their ability, their talents, or what they've achieved in their life. And this is good or bad. There was someone a few years ago that was a little bit of pressure on me to do certain things, and then about a year or so ago they found out that I was writing my first book. And I suspect that when they found out about that, it went straight over their head. They had no counter to that. They had nothing to say. And it's like people will try and tear you down, maybe inadvertently or advertently, or directly or indirectly, out of jealousy, out of spite, out of inhibition or whatever, or fear. But when they realise that your purpose, your desire is too strong, and when you're getting successes, then they can't tear you down. They can't do it as easily. When you're too strong on this track, they can't tear you down from it. And when you've seen successes, realistically they shouldn't then, because that's not right. There's an old saying in China, which is something like, the one saying it can't be done shouldn't get in the way of the one doing it. So if you're doing it, if you're living a life, for example, you're making a difference in the world, then realistically they shouldn't get in the way. The one says that it can't be done, or you can't do that, or wow, they shouldn't get in the way of the ones who are actually doing it. I remember also a few years ago, I wrote on my CV years and years ago, that I knew a little bit about economics and fiscal policy and stuff like that. And they said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't write that you know nothing about that. You didn't go to university and study that." And it's like, looking back, especially in hindsight now, but even at the time I was thinking, you don't need to go to university to learn this. You can learn it by yourself online for free. F the universities, you do it yourself. And they didn't understand that. But that intrigue and that desire to learn more about economics grew and grew and grew, and now it's like embedded into behaviour, attitudes, and what I do. And it's like you can't tear me down. They can't tear you down. And nor can they tear me down for trying to know a bit about economics and financial, because it's just open a book, go on Coursera.com and you can learn stuff. And it's like, well, you can do the exact same thing. Coursera is for free, spend a few hours, the book is, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 quid, whatever, stuff like that, and read it and learn it. But people don't. So you don't want to get mad at them, because it's people only acting in their own certain box in the world, and how they perceive the world and what's happening with them. You can enlighten them, you can share what you're doing with it and why you're doing it, and encourage them to do their own thing. Like I'm writing a book, my second business book on marketing and non-fiction marketing and psychology, and I always tell people, write a book, but no one really does. And I say to people, start a business, do your own thing, and no one really does. And it's like, well, nothing wrong with that, but it's like, lads, gentlemen, people, you, do something different. So if you're the only one in the family, keep at it, be strong, be persistent, strive, move forward, always learn, be humble, be conscious, but always taking in new ideas, challenge your beliefs and your perceptions, do something new, keep learning. And if you don't know anyone, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it's like there's no real bad habits being given to you, but it's a bad thing because there's no real mentor, no real connection. But there are ways to meet people. First thing I say straight away, start a podcast, get a microphone, Skype, and a few of the softwares that can use it, or even OBS or things like that, or Zoom or Go to Office. Start a podcast and invite people on there. come up with a concept for a podcast. You know, we're doing this because of why. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Steam, etc., Reddit, and contact people. Because starting a podcast builds connections, and you also, something I didn't quite predict, but you also learn some really cool stuff by talking to people. So start a podcast is a damn good way to connect with people. But also there's a website called meetup.com and Eventbrite. Meetup and Eventbrite are very similar, which is like people host events and they sell tickets to it. But Meetup is a bit more social, and Eventbrite is just purely like, here's an event, here's this time and date, are you coming, yes or no, RSVP. And Meetup is a mix of Eventbrite and Facebook combined, so it's a bit more social, a bit more social media-esque. Just groups of interests and people that RSVP. So go onto those sites, Meetup and Eventbrite, and see who you can meet and see who you can network with. Also, there's these, every now and then there's these big conferences across the UK or US or wherever, or statewide or whatever. And these conferences, for example, there's like one at NEC in Birmingham, National Exhibition Centre, and one in London, I forgot what it was called. But you go to these conferences with these big 1 or 3 day events, and you can meet people there, and you can network with people. You can even invite someone to your podcast if you're there. But when you network with people, you can learn more. You can get connections and stuff like that. But I find, however, doing a podcast is very interesting because the psychology behind it is fascinating. If you get someone on the show for 20 to 40 minutes and they're talking about themselves for the majority of the time, you're asking some basic questions and it's back and forth, you're connecting, you're bonding quite easily on a one-to-one basis, and you're broadcasting it later on, which is really good for SEO and really good for content creation, create more than you consume. But when you connect with someone, that's an avenue for future, cooperation. Ask a question randomly sometime, or you learn some ideas, or someone might give you something. When I started some podcast, people are giving me like these PR connections elsewhere across the world. Just got a phone call, but that's all right. So across the world, and it's like I can use this connection for later reference. It's like some really cool stuff, and so by starting a podcast, you can meet and you can do a lot of cool stuff, and go to these events as well, because that's where these people are at. And there's always people out there that's looking for business partners or people to work with, and other people to start a mastermind with. I met one of my business partners in like December 2015. And since March of 2016, we've been properly talking together about investing and the mind and psychology and stuff like that, and a bit of marketing. So we're bouncing off ideas one another, and together we're striving to get further and further. Or even go onto Facebook and type in things like mastermind groups or entrepreneur groups, entrepreneur or success or mastermind, whatever, and go into groups and see what there is there, and just contact, talk. Dialogue, create content, your podcast, share it on there, and get talking to people. Or same with Reddit as well, different subreddits, talk to people. There's a whole world out there. Connectivity is amazingly powerful these days, so just go out there and just connect, create and connect. Give to the world first, and they'll give back to you in one way or another. So with the family, have a mission and strive towards that mission, because it's like a train. The faster that train goes, the harder it is to stop. So keep going and full steam ahead. And to network, social media, LinkedIn groups, Twitter, Facebook groups, Instagram's okay. Starting a podcast is a good way to get content and to build a one-to-one connection. Things like that. There's loads of different strategies out there, and those are just a handful that I can think off the top of my head. But do those kind of things. But in the meantime, though, understand that this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So go out there today and do something remarkable. But also remember that this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. How cool is that?